Ever found yourself in a situation where you exclaimed, "I don't know what came over me"? A puzzling phrase, isn't it? On this journey of self-awareness, we'll delve into what this statement truly means and its profound implications on our spiritual growth. When we utter the words, "I don't know what came over me," it's an admission that we've acted in a way that feels alien to our true self. We've been led by emotions, impulses, or influences that seem to come from outside our conscious understanding. These moments can leave us feeling like we've lost our way, like we've strayed from the path of our spiritual essence. But fear not, for the first step on this path of spiritual growth is simply awareness. By acknowledging that something beyond our conscious control has shaped our actions, we begin to understand these forces and their profound influence on us. These forces might be negative patterns of thought, past traumas, unresolved emotions, or even external influences that cloud our judgment and lead us astray. And let's not forget about the ego, that powerful force that often seeks to take the reins of our actions. With its desires, fears, and attachments, the ego can blind us to our true purpose, creating a conflict within. But spiritual growth is all about transcending the ego's control. It's about self-reflection, mindfulness, and aligning our actions with our higher selves. It's about connecting with our inner wisdom and seeking guidance from a higher power to make choices that embody our spiritual values. Many of the forces that control us are rooted in unresolved wounds. Healing these wounds and practicing forgiveness are powerful tools in our quest to reclaim control over our lives. As we become more self-aware and recognize these influences, we empower ourselves to break free from their grip, to make conscious, spiritually aligned choices. Remember, acknowledging these influences within ourselves is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to our strength. It's a crucial part of our journey towards self-mastery and spiritual enlightenment. So, the next time you find yourself saying, "I don't know what came over me," pause, reflect, and explore the deeper forces at play. For it is within this self-awareness that the key to spiritual growth and transformation lies. Awareness is the first step towards transformation. Did you know that the ego often seeks to control our actions? It's a fascinating and sometimes unsettling thought. The ego, with its unique blend of desires, fears, and attachments, wields a powerful influence over our behavior. It can steer us off our spiritual course and even lead to inner conflict. Let's delve into this a little deeper. Picture the ego as a separate entity, a driver of sorts, with its own agenda. It can hijack our decision-making process, seducing us into acting on impulses that may not align with our true selves. It's like a sly puppet master, pulling the strings behind the scenes, leading us to behave in ways we might not recognize. This can manifest in various ways: wanting to impress others, craving recognition, or holding on to resentments. The ego thrives on these desires and feeds off our fears. It can even steer us towards harmful actions or negative thought patterns. But here's the thing: the ego is not inherently evil. It is a part of us, and like any other part, it serves a purpose. It helps us navigate the physical world, protect ourselves, and assert our individuality. But when it begins to dominate our actions, it can lead us astray from our spiritual path. That's where mindfulness and self-reflection come in. These tools help us to observe the ego's influence without judgment. They allow us to recognize when the ego is in the driver's seat, and they give us the power to take back control. Transcending the ego's control doesn't mean eradicating it. It's about achieving balance. It's about learning to recognize the ego's voice and choosing whether or not to act on its suggestions. It's about aligning our actions with our higher selves, our spiritual essence. So the next time you find yourself driven by a desire, fear, or attachment, take a moment, pause, reflect. Ask yourself, is this my true self acting, or is it the ego? Transcending the ego's control requires self-reflection and mindfulness. It's a journey, a process, a dance between the physical and the spiritual. But it's a dance worth learning, for it leads us closer to our true selves and our spiritual enlightenment. Many of the influences that control us stem from unresolved wounds. These words wrap us in a cocoon of truth, a truth that many of us wrestle with daily. We carry within us the echoes of past traumas, the remnants of painful experiences, and the burden of unresolved emotions. These influences are like invisible chains, binding us to patterns of behavior that do not serve our spiritual growth. Imagine the mind as a garden. In this garden, past traumas and unresolved emotions are like weeds, obstructing the growth of beautiful, nourishing plants. These weeds can dominate the landscape of our consciousness, suffocating our spiritual essence. But like any gardener knows, the solution is not to ignore the weeds, but to confront them, to uproot them. This is where the power of healing and forgiveness comes into play. Healing is the process of acknowledging our wounds, understanding their impact on our lives, and taking steps to resolve them. It's a journey of self-discovery, of unraveling the layers of our consciousness to reveal the true essence beneath. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is the act of releasing resentment, anger, and blame. It's about letting go of the past and embracing the present. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting the hurt or condoning the wrong. It means choosing peace over bitterness, love over hate. Together, healing and forgiveness are like a river that washes away the dirt, revealing the shiny pebbles beneath. They allow us to reclaim control over our lives, to break free from the chains of past traumas and unresolved emotions. They help us align our actions with our spiritual values, leading us closer to our true selves. Through healing, we learn to accept our past, to understand its impact on our present, and to envision a future free from its influence. Through forgiveness, we learn to release the burden of resentment and open our hearts to love and compassion. In our spiritual journey, healing and forgiveness are not just tools, they are guiding lights. They illuminate the path towards self-mastery, towards a life of peace, joy, and spiritual fulfillment. Healing and forgiveness are powerful tools in our spiritual journey. So let's embrace these tools and set ourselves free from the chains of the past. Let's reclaim control over our lives and steer ourselves towards spiritual growth and transformation. Recognizing these influences within ourselves is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. This is the powerful truth that sets the stage for our journey towards self-mastery. In the vast landscape of our minds, there are territories uncharted, areas influenced by fears, desires, past traumas, and external factors. Yet it is within these very areas that the path to self-mastery lies. Self-mastery is not about control, but about understanding. It's about peeling back the layers of our consciousness, digging deep into our psyche and bringing light to the parts of ourselves that have been shrouded in darkness. It is about acknowledging our imperfections, but not letting them define us. It's about understanding that we are not our thoughts, we are not our feelings, and we are certainly not our past. This path is not always easy. It requires courage, resilience, and a commitment to personal growth. It involves looking at ourselves in the mirror, not with judgment, but with compassion and acceptance. It calls for mindfulness, for staying present and aware, even when we would rather escape into the comfort of denial or distraction. As we embark on this journey, we start to discover the power of self-awareness. We begin to see that the same forces that once controlled us can now be understood, accepted, and ultimately transcended. We learn to differentiate between the voice of the ego and the voice of our higher self. We learn to align our actions with our spiritual values and not with the fleeting desires of the ego. This process of self-discovery and self-mastery is an ongoing journey. It's a path that we choose to walk, step by step, day by day. It's a path that leads us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the universe. So the next time you find yourself saying, "I don't know what came over me," remember this: you have the power to understand and overcome these influences. You have the strength to walk the path of self-mastery. Within that self-awareness lies the key to spiritual growth and transformation. So, embrace this journey and let it guide you towards the true essence of your being. Embrace the path of self-awareness, and may it lead you to a profound connection with your higher self and the divine. In this winding path of self-discovery, we often stumble upon unexpected turns and hidden crevices. Yet it's in these uncharted territories that we truly come to know ourselves. Each step, each challenge, each triumph is a part of this beautiful journey. It's a journey that takes us beyond the surface, into the depths of our being. It's a journey that isn't about reaching a destination, but about the transformation that happens along the way. In the realm of the spirit, the journey is the destination. It's about embracing the process of evolution, of becoming, of unfolding. It's about living in alignment with our true spiritual essence, our soul's deepest longing. This alignment brings with it a sense of peace, a sense of purpose, a sense of knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. Living a life aligned with our true spiritual essence isn't about perfection. It's about authenticity. It's about being true to who you really are, at your core. It's about honoring your unique path and your unique gifts. It's about making choices that reflect your highest values and deepest truths. When we live in alignment with our true spiritual essence, we radiate a light that is unmistakable. We become a beacon of hope, of love, of peace. We inspire others to embark on their own journey of self-discovery, to seek their own truth, to live their own authentic life. Yes, the path of self-awareness is a challenging one. It requires courage, resilience, and a willingness to look within. But it's a path worth walking, a journey worth embarking on. For it's in the journey that we find ourselves, that we discover our true potential, that we realize our divine nature. So embrace the journey, embrace the path of self-awareness. Walk with courage, with faith, with love. You have the power to transcend these influences and live a life aligned with your true spiritual essence. Subscribe to this channel and continue this journey of self-awareness with us.